Wait, is this your first?
First interview ever.
Jeez, oh, bro.
Tell that.
Exclusives here
I
again.
hope we get a job.
People gonna be transferred to the road.
We gonna transform. I got dance day and everything for people to do. There's enough instructions, enough energy. So if you know that you ain't fit, gym time now, and let we get ready, cause we transforming all of our over.
Bar with a suit. Let's
Jumping
say
up and
gym.
don't let me mad.
And transform into a madman. I just transform. You will feel like this way from my bar.
Electric Charge, make it yourself, buddy.
My good evening, Sweetlyfe.
Good evening. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, good man. So we're gonna get up close to Sweetlyfe this evening.
For sure.
Brand new artist, but your face may look familiar.
Yeah. I never thought I would have got a new artist next to my name, but we gotta do something new every now and again, right?
Yeah, man. So tell the people where they would know your face from.
Boy, it depends on how long you didn't know me.
Yeah.
So if you know me, you probably know me from playing drums at church. That's where the whole musician thing would have been born from. Then from there, if you know me from cadets, it was a drum in the cadet band. Um, if you know me after that, we would have formed a band when it was at school, Electric. There's some guys from Comamere and myself who were also in cadets, and David, Dapper, and Randy, and
Randy Eastman?
David, yeah, Randy Eastman.
Gee, my
yeah,
guy.
yeah, right. We would have formed that band when we were in school. If you know me from there, you know me from Electric. Let me see. After that, high grade band was my brainchild with Keisha Christian and Superstar,
Yo,
Jadon,
yo,
Pressure Point, yeah. Where else? Then yeah, I would have gone into my business where I would be selling vehicles. That would be Sweetlyfe come from. Yeah. So depends on where you know me, and you know me as enough different things.
I didn't expect such a long history.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, definitely.
So this is a long time coming.
Long time, a long time. A lot of behind the scenes things, but
Yeah.
you know, yeah, it's time to come from behind the scenes. I come up front and see if the response is a good response.
So I hear you got active song this year.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. I I I don't want to say stepping out the box because um it's something that I was a part of for a long time. But like I mentioned before, it was a lot behind the scenes stuff. Right? From the electric days as a drummer, anybody who would remember electric from back in the days, we were always a high energy band, right? And I was the person tasked to write the set. If you know what a set is, a set is a road the band would travel.
Oh, we getting technical now.
Yeah. When you come on stage, how the set would start,
Right,
and
right.
you know what music we can start with, and how we can bring this in and that kind of thing. So I was the person responsible for this set, and I remember we never used to go on stage until I comfortable with the set. You can ask anybody, right? Good. So I decided this was probably 10 years in making. About 10 years, I really wanted to write a song and participate in crossover.
It had to be a journey to get to this point.
Yeah, because a lot of things happen. You know, I had my trials and my tribulations, and then I started my business, and then the response to my business was exponential. It was crazy,
Fantastic.
and that this business I mean, which is carousels, is a very jealous business. My phone always ringing, always an email to respond to, always an invoice to do, always a customer to be with. So in the active, real hectic part of my business development, I pretty much like took a back seat to the music thing, concentrate on that. So now yeah, stage ready business established. I decided, you know what,
Stunning.
this year, this year is it. Let me do something. I had these songs. I had a lot of songs written, like 7 years old.
So you actually have multiple songs.
For sure. Yeah, I got 7 or 8 songs written, right? And they were written like within the space of like 3 months or so. And it was I can tell what happened. I was on an island safari, and somebody told me to play this song by XYZ. Right? I never heard the song before. Yeah, and I played it. And for some reason, that song reminded me of a song that I wrote 7 years ago. He said, "Yeah, I can release my tune this year."
So that was like the point that really pushed you?
That's the point that really pushed me
Yeah.
to do it this year. Yeah.
So what's the process of writing this first release?
All right. The process behind this one, I wanted a song that got people to move naturally without telling them, put your hand,
Mm.
right? Or bringing on the band and say, all right, put one hand on, right? I want to one of them songs.
Interesting.
Yeah, and from I've heard great artists say we don't reinvent the wheel, we just find new ways to do the same things, and that's all music is. You understand? You finding new ways to package saying that happened before,
Mhm.
right? So um, I I wrote this song based on the fact that I found that Cropova was getting a little too sweet, as in
Okay.
everything was raga soca, all right?
Too much groovy.
Too much, too groovy, right? And I was in Saint Lucia. I was in Vinci. We hear Dominica music, and if you travel to these islands, all you hearing on the road is
Drums.
whole day. And I've heard some feedback from some maybe some party goers, some people who do a lot of carnivals,
Mhm.
and they're almost right off our crop over road jump as boring. This is a lot of walking.
Wait, this is people from other islands?
Yeah. Other islands, tourists from Canada, USA, England, all over.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, real talk. Yeah? And if you observe it, it could be that for sure because everything is down 130.
Mhm. Yeah, we do like that.
Yeah, right, and we missing that. Yeah. So I was very pleased to see Bruce, shout out to Bruce Almighty, come and give you some power soca that lead the way.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, Tion, right?
Mhm.
Lead the way.
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me you got something that level of energy?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Bruh.
before that last year it was that from Chief Bing, and then we Sling from the guy Quan. So people got thirst for that.
Of course.
Again, be ready for that again. To get the back some hyping crop over. So right. So back to the tune that I was right that I have written right. That I written. It's down that line. That 160. That get on bad, dance, energy, have fun. That is what we're looking at this crop over. And that's my first tune for lack of better expression, introduce myself.
This is why you want to introduce
I
yourself
want to introduce myself
to the
as a
music scene.
party man. Yeah.
Right, so let the people know
Yeah.
the name of the song and we can hear a preview here quick.
Right. So the name of the song is Transform.
I just work hard Monday, right down to Friday. With my responsibility, I man don't play. No way. But it's like a vibe catch me when we can come. Don't know where I get the energy from. Come by the bar, fill me cup with piece of rum, and transform into a madman. I just transform. You will feel like this way from my bar.
All right, guys. So you guys just heard a preview.
Yeah, man.
Of Transform. I know Barbara is ready for this one.
Well, I'm sure ready for your edit, but we can see.
People gonna be transferring to the road.
We can transform. I got dance day and everything for people to do. There's enough instructions, enough energy. So if you know that you ain't fit, gym time now, and let me get ready because we transforming all of our over.
Barbara, this
Jumping up and don't let me mad. Full energy. Alright? Good stuff.
Is this the type of songs we can expect from you? Are you gonna still be diverse?
Yeah, like I said, I write a few songs. I actually wanted to do 2 this year, right? I got another tune there, another rocket soca that for me, I love even more than transfer, right? But the time factor is a issue. We got transformed between myself and Randy from Quantum, yeah, Quantum Studios. We got transformed about 90%.
Wait, almost there?
Yeah, almost there.
Okay,
For sure. Okay. Get ready to mix now, just gonna add 1 or 2 little horns, to get a little more fire.
Yeah.
Right? And then I was telling him, I actually sent him the demo for the second track because I wanted a raga soca and a fast one. But I lean in more towards this one song and push the life out of it and see where it goes.
I just went in there.
Yeah, I see where it goes for sure.
For the second song, how Randy feeling about it?
Nah, he love it too. He love it bad.
How's the tempo on that one?
That one is a little, I guess around the same 130, between 125 and 130 or so.
Yeah. That's Sweetlyfe pace.
Yeah. Kinda. Yeah, for sure. I'm my age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
So you said that you don't want too much groovy soca. You know that's not really your speed.
Hmm.
What do you think that's holding back the local industry?
No, I don't want to see it is holding back the industry because I don't want nobody come at me and hey lock me and say what you talking about,
Right.
right? What I'm saying is the direction the rest of the Caribbean in terms of the carnivals are
Right.
going and the emphasis that we put on raga soca.
Hmm.
I think in terms of the Kadooment big jump,
Hmm.
it is putting a boring effect, a
Mm.
boring filter on it. When you travel the Caribbean, you to see hype, you to see pace. When you catch them parties, you to see pure fire. For we, my guy, I guess did a photo shoot there with Sebastian, right? The agent too, and he was saying he called it garden party music.
I've
It,
heard that term.
yeah,
Yeah.
it bougie,
Hmm.
right? It's more stand up and sip a cup, and after a while that can get boring. People really want to get up and dance and move. You understand? Yeah. So, like I said, I ain't really want.
Yo, you broach a really deep topic there
Yeah, for sure, definitely, man.
because people have been saying that a lot of Bajans go to parties and just stand up and look.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, definitely.
You
Yeah.
know.
So, I I made my contribution. I might start
Hmm.
at that level with that type of music because I want
What make a change
change for it, man. See what it goes for sure.
one song at a time.
One song I think. Yeah.
But that's the true point though. Like if you look at Dominica and Grenada,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they will have some slow songs, but they have energy.
Yeah, them the songs like you go to the bar with and cool out and
Hmm.
catch your breath.
Hmm.
But when it comes down to really enjoying it, you need that fire. And we actually started that.
You
Right?
started that
Yeah,
way,
we started out here with hype it up, and when they don't stick and volcano and remember them years when people was really partying. I
right?
think it was Rupee and Kevin Little that really brought in that
Pioneer that
yeah, that groovy,
grooviness.
tempted to touch
Mhm.
and that kind of thing. And then from there, the whole thing gets spiraling
It
and
just changed
spiraling.
again.
Yeah, right. But
Yeah,
no, we should be back to the pace again, man. But yeah,
we went too far.
yeah. For me,
We went too far left. We gotta come back in the middle.
back to the middle. Man, walk too far, like.
That is an interesting observation. I don't think I've heard
Yeah, for sure,
anyone really talking about.
for sure.
So in terms of performing on stage now,
Mm-hmm. Right.
you ready for that?
I feel so. Yeah, I feel so, man. I've been doing a lot of practicing in the mirror. Yeah.
Can't forget the show,
Can't forget the show later.
the
It's
show
some regular.
concerts.
It's some regular show, yeah. I sorry, can't count that show with me.
Well, people one of they hear it, but I guess sneak preview of the song live just now. He could carry a note. He could carry a note, people. He could carry a note.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
but the energy on stage, you gotta transfer
They
that to
sound different.
people.
Yeah, man, they sound different for sure. Um, like I said before, I was a part of a band more or less in the background.
That's true. You've
But
been on stage.
yeah,
You've been on
and,
stage.
and playing drums ain't easy. The drum is the only body in the band that don't get rest.
Mm.
All right, drum is the only person in the band that can't take his hands off of the guitar or thing and take a little break or that kind of thing. The drummer doing this here the whole day,
Mhm.
that is, that the whole night.
Mhm.
All right. So in terms of the energy is still there. Now it's to be energetic, still remaining key.
Right. Yep.
That's important.
Yep.
You understand? I know how to control the crowd and that kind of thing. So I'm gonna try to draw up on the experiences from electric days, yeah, high grade days, because I've been around some really good artists.
Mhm.
I've been around the likes of like it's a Mikey, you got Omar McQuilkin, you know, you got Superstar, fellas that could command the stage and really get the attention of a crowd.
Mhm.
So yeah, I got a lot of examples to draw upon.
So what style of performer think you gonna be?
Mm, what style of performing?
You gonna be all over the stage. You telling people to move out.
Yeah, I can try that. Yeah, I feel like I can be like more like a energetic type of performer
Mhm.
where you could actually enjoy the party but still see a good performance to see it. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Yeah, for sure.
So as you said, it took a long time for you to get to this point.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you see this as a new chapter, like in your life, that you can continue?
That is it for sure. And a graduation chapter.
Mhm.
I just look at my life as a bunch of chapters
Right.
for sure. Been through a lot. I have a lot of stories that I could give, and I could probably go on for 3 4 days. I guess give you stories, right? And people tell me all the time, Sean, you should write a book.
Mm.
Yeah, for real, you should write a book. But yeah,
All these things that you overcame.
all these things I overcame, all these things that I learned from.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So this is another chapter. Definitely, this is another chapter that I always wanted to embark on, but timing is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As a signal, I actually put down the dummy track to transform in 2019.
Before COVID.
Yeah, right. And then obviously next year was COVID. And he's a strategist. He's a man that's really think about this thing. Does it make sense for new artists to come out around that time? I think that the bigger dogs would draw me out a new artist around COVID.
It's true.
And they 21 or 2, we still had on mask and jumping and beer thing. It's a dandy thing.
Right.
And they 22 was when my business really took over, and obviously, I was busy then.
Mm-hmm.
So, right. So, I tell myself, noisy thing, man. Yeah, for sure.
How was the reception from the friends and family that have known that you had this talent all these years and waited for you to do something like?
Yeah.
What did they think now that you're finally stepping up?
Everybody, real supportive. Nobody is surprised. Let me put it that way. Yeah, they're really supportive. I live one or two of my close friends hear the tune and it was like, yo, these songs sound good, yeah.
Mhm.
And then again, some friends I want to mention Mikey, I want to mention some other fellas from the music fraternity. Sorry, I gave them some sneak peeks and they thought it was like, yeah. I gave these are things that people ain't surprised about because of the background I came from, right? I also got I don't want to call it a talent, I would just call it a ear for hits. I just call hits before they even are hits.
That's one of the most important things I have.
Yeah, I call hits before they even are hits. I could tell you was a good song, was an okay song. Sometimes they got the okay songs that don't turn into good songs because of whatever political reason. But on a average, I could tell you what a good song sounds like. So a lot of pressure is on me now, as a man who for years was saying these are good song and it is a hit. These are good song and it's a hit. If I come and write some foolishness though, people like he's an imposter.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So
does that mean that you're hard to work with in the studio because you're like what's the word? Spitting things apart, being critical about even your own music?
I want to say that I hard to work with. I will let this is my first vocal recording, so I will let Randy
let Randy speak for that.
Speak on that.
Actually, I got to interview Randy soon.
Good stuff. You could ask him that.
Yeah.
Right, but I don't think they're hard to work with. I am somewhat of a perfectionist.
Awesome.
And I am very, very protective of my image and what people perceive me to be.
Right.
So if I put anything, it got to be decent, minimum. Got to be decent, minimum. You understand? So yeah, I wouldn't say they hard to work with. I would say more or less. If I'm working with a person who doesn't share my same views, then it's gonna be a problem.
Right. And as a new artist, what are like the challenges that you experience getting to this point? Like, what do you think will really slow down a new artist from getting into the industry?
This thing is expensive for sure. So,
that is true.
This thing is expensive. Recordings, photo shoots. What else? Yes, the whole social media, managing. That's a whole job in itself. So, and then if you want a songwriter, you gotta pay for songs as well. I figure if you can get past the expense, you could find good recordings and find a good producer to work with. After that, the road should be a little more smooth for sure. But for me, that's the challenge.
Sweetlyfe, it's been fantastic.
Thanks, buddy.
This is a great first interview here.
Yeah.
Wait, is this your first interview?
First interview ever?
Jeez, oh, bro.
Tell you that.
Exclusives here, gang.
I hope I get a job.
Thanks for your time, buddy.
Yeah, all right.
I can see you on the road.
For sure. All right, buddy. Yeah, man.